Which vehicle is recommended if you're coming to Santa Teresa in Costa Rica? Hey, welcome to my video. I moved to Santa Teresa in Costa Rica in 2018. That's why I'm here to share everything I've learned about vehicles. My name is Muriel, and with Dirk, my husband, and 2 kids, we live now close to Santa Teresa, and I am driving a car, a quad, and a motorbike here around Santa Teresa. So I think that you can learn from all the mistakes I made and all the things I've learned about it. So whether you're coming here as a tourist or if you're coming here to live here temporarily or very long term, stick to my video until the end. I assure you, you can take away some money saving and also frustration saving tips. Before I'm gonna dive in, this is an open invite to subscribe using that little square icon and then hit the bell icon. And that means that you will receive a notification every time I upload a new video here on the channel, which is always Costa Rica related and everything that I have learned so far. I'm not the expert, I don't know everything, but I always promise my audience, which maybe you as well, if you're watching more of my videos, that I will share everything that I believe is valuable for everyone coming to Costa Rica. So, which vehicle is recommended for the area Santa Teresa? So, suppose that you are a tourist, right? And you are coming here and you want to be mobile. There is a couple of options, right? If you're staying here in the center of Santa Teresa, for example, an Airbnb, a hotel, whatsoever, and you really prefer surfing every day. So which vehicle, or if you need a vehicle, which one you need, assuming you need a vehicle, you want to be mobile, here's a couple of things that you can stick by. If you do not tend to go out of town because you want to surf every day, you have a stay in the center of Santa Teresa, you can basically do without a vehicle. You can walk from A to B. You have the ocean right in front of the whole town of Santa Teresa, where you can surf basically over the whole line. And if you would like to go from A to B, it's easy to hitchhike little pieces or to take the Tico bus. Then of course it's up to you. How are you traveling from the airport to Santa Teresa? There are several options. You can take the local bus and take the bus to Santa Teresa in Covano. And you can also take a shuttle bus. There's multiple options possible. It's easy to Google that, and if you need help with that, let me know. So assuming you're here, you stay in town, I'm not sure if you really need a vehicle. If you like to explore once in a while, a couple of times within your vacation, it's cool to rent an ADV and not a car. So if you think, you know what, if you're not traveling with kids, for example, you can easily transport yourself from A to B on an ADV, and it's actually very cool to rent an ADV and explore the area. You can drive from Santa Teresa to Montezuma and to, you know, everything that is around Santa Teresa. You can just explore and just take a ride and see where you end. It's a very beautiful area. You can drive up to Manzanillo from Santa Teresa, drive to Hermosa Beach, and then from there you can take the hill up or take the left down and follow the beach road to Manzanillo. Yeah, there's lots of reasons thinkable why you should rent an ADV. It is not that you can rent an ADV nearby the airport and drive to Santa Teresa. That's not allowed. Officially, ADVs are not allowed in to drive on asphalt roads. Now, if you're renting a car, I can tell you this, and this is what I learned out of experience. If you rent a pickup truck, which is cool, this is what Dirk and I've done the very first time, a pickup truck pays more taking the ferry. I think it's even up to $20 to $25 if you have a pickup truck. Don't pin me on the exact amount that you will be paying more compared to a normal car, but you pay definitely way more. So if you have the choice to rent a pickup truck or a normal car, rent a normal car if you are planning to use the ferry often. So this is for people who are thinking about living here, if you're buying a car, first of all, never buy a car in Santa Teresa, but buy a car in Gracia, which is the place where most garages are, or in or around San Jose. The reason is that we live on a peninsula that's 3 parts of ocean around Santa Teresa, which makes the air very oceanish, salty. I don't know that word, but vehicles, they rot very fast inside, although they may look very shiny on the outside, although they're not really old. The roads are pretty bad here, so there's a pretty bad infrastructure. And also that air so close to the ocean is killing vehicles on an early age. And I'm not, I'm not, this is real. So trust my word, I couldn't come up with the word. I'm not exaggerating, this is really real. I'm Dutch, remember? So sometimes I fall for my words. So if you want to buy a vehicle because you already are pretty certain that you're gonna live in or around Santa Teresa, definitely buy. And this is a little list for car buyers. If you're gonna be an expat, do it good right away. So I'm not saying you should buy a car right away, like you're coming from the airport and you have all your stuff with you, and perhaps even your family buy a car right away. We just came first to Santa Teresa, settled in our house. We used the Tico bus and walk and hitchhike. We didn't go very far, and then we started to explore very peaceful, on the peaceful tempo. We explored where to find a fit car for us. So we were not in the hurry, and that's the key to buy a good car. Now, if you buy a car, buy a pickup truck, not a pickup truck, but a normal car, which is 4x4 and as high as possible on the wheels. Why is that? So it should be not a pickup truck if you want to save a lot of cost driving back and forth and back and forth. There's always moments that you need to take the ferry, and one time paying more is not that bad, but every time back and forth, it's gonna, you're gonna feel that in your wallet. So no pickup truck, normal car, high on the wheels, 4x4. And more tips. A preferred brand is Toyota, because Toyota is so well known over whole Costa Rica. It's the easiest brand for car parts, and every garage holder knows how to, how a Toyota looks like from the inside. The more mechanic the car is, the better. So the less computerized the car is, the better. Why? Because of the infrastructure here. The roads are bad, a lot of dirt roads, lots of high roads. So if you're if you're renting, rent a 4x4. If you're not sure, if you're not confirmed about that your Airbnb or stay is flat, a lot of rentals are on a steep hill, and if you don't have a 4x4, you can't get there. So 4x4 is always best. Toyota is a very good brand to buy because of the practical reason. And yeah, of course, the newer the car, you would say the better, but better and newer is not always better in Santa Teresa. This is such a specific, weird piece of Costa Rica, and weird in a good way. It's very remote. It has a remote character. There is an asphalt road now in Santa Teresa, almost completed, but there's still lots of holes. So if your car is very, very low at the ground, it's gonna break very, very easy. Your bumper's gonna fall off. The bottom of your car will be hit by stones or whatsoever. It's really how I have experienced it, and that's the reason why we drive an old-timer that is super mechanic. My husband can fix it. It's a car from 1974. I'm not saying you should buy a car from 1974, but what's important is that you first of all realize, do you really need a car? Because a car needs maintenance, needs to go to the garage once in a while. They will break once in a while. All the filters will be very dirty because of the dirt roads. Buying a car here is a thing that deserves attention and patience, and finding the right car. Newer is not always best, because also the newer the car, the faster it breaks down, but you also pay more marchamo, and marchamo is the taxes that you pay every year to have permission to use the roads. That's the yearly taxes. And the older the value of the car is, the less you pay. So that's some things to consider. According to coming here to Santa Teresa and transportation, I know a lot of people who live here, also people with families, but who live in a place where they have everything nearby. So the schools are nearby, or their kids follow online learning the same as my kids do. But they buy, and this is the cheapest way of transportation, is a motorbike. A lot of motorbikes are driving, and it's really the cheapest way of transportation. You're fast, you pay only a tiny bit of taxes per year. Buying a brand new motorbike, we have a brand new Honda, was particularly a small investment. We maintain our motorbike always at the Honda dealer close to Kobano. It's run by Andrea. She's amazing. You feel like at home there, and that way you maintain your vehicle. I can always assure you that if you maintain your vehicle, you really must. So you're not just buying a vehicle. So this is not for people visiting Santa Teresa, right? And people who are on vacationing. Now I'm talking to the expats. New expats or people who are thinking about becoming an expat. You need to have a budget for maintenance of your vehicle. If you are here and you're driving around, you will know exactly what I mean, that you need maintenance, because if you don't do maintenance, your car, your vehicle, moto, quad car will break down in no time. Because of the dirt roads and yeah, the salty air. It needs to be cleaned regularly, and the filter should be cleaned, the oil should be refreshed, etc, etc. Don't underestimate this. So again, if you don't really need a vehicle, don't buy a vehicle, because it's you really need to have a budget for it. We are a family of 4, a 17-year-old girl, we have a son, we have our own activities, so we have 3 vehicles. Dirk often takes the moto if he goes to the gym. I often take the quad with my son when we go to Muay Thai, when we go all together somewhere with all the dogs. We take the car. When it's raining, it's better to take the car than the quad. But why do I swear that having a quad? I will tell you this. The best investment that I invested in after my move to Santa Teresa in Costa Rica, the best vehicle is buying a brand new ADV at the Honda dealer. Call me crazy. A lot of people told me, no, you can buy second hand. Well, I've seen the people buying them second hand. Some had luck, some had unluck, some bought a second hand ADV, and they go in price range. They're all more or less above $4,000 up, even when they have many thousands of kilometers on it. And I thought, this thing has to drive me, my family, dogs. I'm gonna use it every day. I have friends that live on the hill. I need to go everywhere. I'm gonna drive it at night, in the rain, in whatever, in dry season when everything is dusty and slippery. It needs to be, I need to rely on that thing. So why would I buy a second hand that can break down anytime, right? I'm not saying there's no good second-hand ones. I know those who bought second-hand, but overall, those people bought second-hand from people they knew really well, who knew the driving behavior and who could show the maintenance proof of that they were maintained, and the year of buying, etc. And the amount of kilometers should be reasonable. I don't have a specific list for you what is reasonable or not. I do know people, they just simply don't have $11,000 in their back pocket, which I paid for my fully equipped quad ADV brand new. The newest version that time, that was about 2.5 years ago, with the box, with the seat, with everything that I need and still use every day. But buying it secondhand for half of the price, when the quad maybe die or have way more necessity to be fixed every time because little things break, I would go if you have the budget for a brand new one, especially if you know that you're going to be here for a longer time. It's the best investment I ever did. And even I'm wondering now, do we really need a car? Well, Dirk swears that he needs a car, but it's not really often that we all together use the same car. If we do a family trip whatsoever, we can always rent. But Dirk is like an old-timer fan, and of course it's nice to cruise around Costa Rica by car and to explore being on vacation in your own country, right? So let me think if I covered everything. So yeah, my best tips about transportation in Santa Teresa, I think I mentioned them all. If I forgot anything, if you're watching and you're familiar with this area, let me know if I forgot anything, or if you have any specific questions. Yeah, basically I think this was it. I am looking forward. Oh yeah, I cannot stretch it enough. If you're driving a motorbike or a quad slash ADV, please wear your helmet, because I live on a dirt road, and I see tourists cruising with rentals without helmets, and we live close to some curves in the road. It's not the first time that I had to call an ambulance, because people crush. They just don't see the road as a road where animals cross, where people live, where kids walk, and they go too fast. And speeding, it can be deadly here. Overall, speeding and no helmets is deadly here, more deadly than anywhere else in the world, than anywhere else in Costa Rica. Don't underestimate, although there's asphalt on lots of roads now in and around Santa Teresa, speeding and no helmets, I'm just gonna repeat for the third time, can be deadly. It's not the first time that tourists, they just flip out a curve and they just fall in a, I don't know, they fall down. A couple of months ago, a girl died, her boyfriend drove, he lives, terrible. And it was a road that I often take visiting my friend in Kabuya slash Montezuma, and also in town. People who are speeding, there's kids crossing the street, don't speed, use a helmet. Dirk had a quad accident on their brand new quad, by the way, with her son. It was very slippery, it was dusty, you don't see the dust on the road, it's super slippery in corners, and they just slipped, swapped over. It twisted in the air, but they were wearing helmets, and the quad landed on Dirk's helmet before it landed on its wheels again. They just were fine, had some scratches, some neck thingies, but it's all recovered. But I'm just saying, this is my experience. Take this seriously, and of course enjoy Costa Rica. And Santa Teresa is an amazing beach town, so much to explore. I hope this serves you with the right information. I'm looking forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye for now.